Are we ready?
We're ready.
All right. Dad jeans.
Fudging first baseman of the Atlanta Braves.
Yeah.
Is quite the raconteur, apparently.
Oh, yeah?
And he basically hosts a talk show at first base. Like, you get on base, and he's like, and he's looked you up, and he's like, you're from Kansas.
I've noticed people having a good old time out there on first base. That's interesting.
Yep. And he manages to kind of distract them, too, which is brilliant.
Wow.
with his bonhomie.
Oh, I love it.
I
love that.
it.
That's the kind of that's why there's no other sport like baseball. Mm-hmm. You're not like joking around like on a basketball court. You got no time.
No, you're elbowing each other in the nose.
Yeah, all
you're
doing is saying fuck, hey, get the fuck, fuck. They're all British.
Oh yeah, wait.
Too, by the
do
way.
that again because I'm going to do the sneaker squeaks.
Oh, you fuck in your in your fucking
That's our imitation of a basketball game.
Sounded exactly
that was
like it.
really good.
Yeah, a bunch of Cockney fellas running over mice. That's what I think basketball is. Oh yeah, okay. Oh shit, you ponce, you fucking ponce. Brendan,
Jeff,
we need to get into it. It's been a couple of weeks, and I have a lot to say tonight.
Oh, good. I'm glad you're coming in heavy, as they say when planes have to turn around and land. Which reminds me, I just remembered of a story I have.
Oh, okay. Well, why don't you tell it right now because you don't have it written down.
No, I don't.
So,
dude, okay.
Tell me the story.
Okay, it's front matter anyway.
Yeah.
I was going back to Boston, Massachusetts, which is where I'm from, where I grew up.
Boston.
I don't know if anyone knows this about me. I don't bring it up very often.
Boston, Massachusetts?
That's exactly that's precisely, it's uncanny.
I'll have some baked clam. I'm in Boston, Massachusetts.
You sound like Jane Curtin in the Common Ground miniseries.
Do you like that I just asked for some baked clam, though? For some reason, that's what I picture you guys eating out there.
Oh, yeah. It's Little Necks for breakfast, Little Necks for lunch.
Little Necks, can I have some East egg, please? Okay. Yeah.
And what should happen? Oh, so I surprised my mom and flew back to Boston for her 75th birthday.
Like, did you like really surprise her, like with a ski mask and just like show up in the window? Yeah,
with an Uzi.
Yeah,
you're like, you give me your money.
Happy birthday.
It was great. We had it was like me, my brother, my sister.
How fun.
It was
How sweet.
very nice. It was very nice. But we're sitting on the tarmac getting ready to leave Los Angeles. And they close the doors. The pilot's like, ladies and gentlemen from the flight deck. He goes through that whole thing as they do.
Yeah.
And I hear, no, this is not happening. We need to get off this plane.
Wait, what?
And from behind me, a couple rows back, we're getting up. Stop the plane. We need to get off.
What?
And
Karen?
it was a woman, and then I hear a little child being like, "Where's Daddy?
Oh,
Where's
God.
Daddy?"
Oh no!
And it was like this crazy thing. For a second, I thought she was like some crazy attachment mom that was freaking out because her kid was crying on an airplane,
right? Or it was like some kind of a jest, some kind of a marketing thing. She was gonna
a flash mob.
Yeah, flash mob. She was about to go into a song and dance routine or something.
Exactly right.
Okay.
Yeah, you wouldn't believe these rates.
Yeah,
I'm gonna knock you out with these numbers.
Yeah.
And it turns out that I think her husband was still trying to get on the plane or was taking a poop in the terminal or something like that. And they just didn't let him on. He didn't make the cut.
But she just kept walking and was like, we'll figure it out later.
They were already on the plane. Maybe he was like, I'll meet you, honey. I have to go to Auntie M's for a fucking pretzel or something.
Wow.
And so she started flipping the fuck out.
Yeah.
And the kids are flipping out like, where's my daddy? Like
Holy
losing their mind.
shit.
And eventually I did realize this whole thing about the husband. At first, I was ready to hate this woman at first.
Right.
And then I was like, okay, all right, okay.
Yeah.
They didn't let him on.
The guy had a prolapsed anus.
He got a prolapsed anus. So, and there, but for the grace of noodly go any of us.
Sure.
And so then the plane stops. It backed up 10 feet. It stops. And then we sat there for half an hour.
But just because the woman was screaming, did she ask for assistance? Did she ask to get off the plane?
She asked to get off the plane and did get off the plane.
I see.
It turns out as the plane backs up, you can raise a stink and get off a plane. But it stopped. But the problem is they rolled the jetway away from the plane as it started to back up. And then all the staff who were up on the ticket thing took off, and they were like at Auntie M's with the husband.
Right.
And so we sat there for half an hour, and then they rolled forward 10 feet, and then we sat there, and then they were having trouble with the jetway. We didn't leave.
Wow.
And meanwhile, I'm supposed to be at a restaurant to surprise my mom at a certain time.
Right.
And I'm like, I'm sure, you love your husband or whatever, but I'm trying to get to a birthday party, and it's a surprise. So anyway, lesson learned, you can get off a plane after it starts to leave, but it's going to cost everyone an hour of their lives.
Wow. Well, I have a plane story as well.
I'd rather it be an exciting story.
It's not that exciting.
Well,
but I went to San Francisco for work,
Uh-huh.
my first work trip in like 2 years. It was a very last minute thing. They asked me like a week before we were going to shoot this thing. It was going to be a remote set, so I would be like zoomed in and I would be directing this thing from afar. But they asked me to fly to San Francisco and direct it in person.
Jeff, are you a director? Do you direct commercials?
I now am a director somehow.
Dude,
Yeah.
congratulations. That's fantastic.
Thank you. Well, I'm a creative director, but we have no director, so the creative director had to become the director.
My goodness.
I know, exactly. It's not, I just jumped in. I dived in, Brendan.
Why not?
What else is there to do? So I was in the Google offices, directing Google people.
Really?
Yes. That's what I did a couple weeks ago.
Bunch of adults? The Google people?
Yes, they're all adults, no children. No, are they dolts?
Yeah.
Yeah, not bright. not a bright company.
Not a bright bulb on the entire campus.
No, a lot of ham bones over there. No,
walking into walls.
No, they're all lovely people. And I'm so proud to be a part of this exciting adventure called advertising.
Oh, I'm glad.
But my plane story is that the day I was leaving, it was that day that we had those freak lightning storms.
Yes.
Out of the blue.
Holy shit,
Like,
that was weird.
I drove to the airport and it was crystal clear sky. And then while I was sitting there in the terminal, and I too had an event that I had to go to, all of my coworkers up in San Francisco were meeting at a restaurant. People I've never met before in person. And
Oh my
I was
God.
excited to get there and go to dinner with them and bask in the glory of their company. And the lightning storm started, and they said they couldn't let people on the plane, but not because the plane would have any trouble taking off. A plane can fly through a lightning storm, no questions asked.
It's a Faraday cage.
The problem, exactly. The problem was that the stairs, you could get electrocuted walking up the stairs.
Wait, were you flying out of Burbank?
Yes.
Oh, so you had to go out on the tarmac.
Exactly.
And then up the stairs.
Exactly.
Oh, which are made of metal.
Exactly.
Yes, okay.
But I was just like, I sort of took me aback that like we have a machine that flies through the sky like a bird, but we can't solve the problem of stairs to get onto the machine.
Getting up to it, other than a slingshot, which is made of rubber and wood.
See, now you're thinking smart. But rubber, they couldn't make rubber stairs. Come on,
Rubber stairs. That's
put
a
us
great
all
point.
in rubber suits. We could
Or
wear those big
plastic stairs.
those sumo wrestler suits up the stairs.
Yeah.
That'd be fun.
That's a very good point.
Yeah, I mean, come on, airlines.
Airlines.
I mean, I guess there aren't that many freak lightning storms in America. Maybe it's not that big of an occurrence, but we got to prepare
certainly
for our
not in,
future.
California. I
It's
know,
gonna be
because
freak
it's
lightning
coming for
storms
us.
all the time.
My friend Paget, when she's flying out of Burbank, gets to the top
Paget
of the stairs.
Brewster?
That's the one. Do you know her?
No, but I know that that's a name.
That's a name. It's a
That's
name.
an actress, isn't
Yeah.
it?
I haven't seen her in a long time, but I would still count her among my pals.
She's an actress, right?
She's an actress.
Like a famous actress.
She was on Criminal Minds.
Okay. See, people, that's a name people know.
Yeah.
Why did you just ditch all of us normies?
What?
Like all of us normies.
No,
like
I ditched all the famous people for
the
my
normal
normies.
friends. The normal friends. We get none of your time. It's all just famous people. Paget Brewster.
So Paget goes up the stairs, those stairs at Burbank every time, and then right before she goes in the door, she turns around and she says, "So long, Burbank,"
Oh, I love it.
and then gets on the plane. It was pretty good.
Yeah, that is pretty good.
Pretty good. One last thing about the airplanes. You know the
Yes.
windstorm that was insane the other day?
Yeah.
That ripped half of the tree in front of my house off, and so now it's half a tree.
Yes.
I landed in that coming back from Boston. And it was one of these landings. Have you ever seen what planes do when they're coming in for a landing in a nasty crosswind?
Oh, yeah.
They have to land diagonally and then straighten out at the last second.
Wow.
And so every people are like knocking their heads on the seats in front of them. It was
Whoa.
in goddamn nuts.
Was it scary?
I don't get scared on airplanes anymore.
It
would have been. But
Oh,
it wasn't.
anymore? That's funny. I'm worse on them in my later life.
Really?
Yeah. I just don't.
Interesting.
I am keenly aware that I'm trapped.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, they feel so sturdy to me nowadays. I don't know why. Something's I used to be fucking terrified of flying.
Yeah.
And something shifted in me. Oh, I know. A guy I was talking to a guy about being scared of flying.
Yeah.
And he was like, and this almost counts as fatherly advice. He was like, well, all you just have to go into is that all you got mode, because those giant engines are so goddamn motherfucking powerful.
Yeah.
And it's not like the air will run out of air molecules.
Okay.
So it's just sucking more air into those engines.
Huh,
and it's
interesting.
like, is that all you got?
Sure.
You know what I mean? Those planes are big and sturdy.
Well, I mean, U.S. manufacturing ain't what it used to be, my friend.
Oh. Neither is the old gray mare.
Yeah, that's true. It's a hole in my bucket. Brendan, I have one more thing to share with you in the upfront. This is the matter that happens up front.
Oh, yes.
And then, shall we get into our segment, Grave New World?
I don't mind.
Okay, so this is an interesting thing. I'm going to be work heavy tonight because I'm like in the middle of like all I do is work right now.
I see.
So I may be telling you my entire life revolves around work at the moment. So I may be showering you with work stories.
Please. The more golden, the better.
Yes. Okay. Well, here you go. Here's a golden story for you, my friend. So my friend Liz from work, she lives in Rochester, and she was telling me a story the other day, or she was telling all of the creative team a story about how she was at the grocery store, and she saw a guy pushing a grocery cart with like all of his like normal bachelor crap in the cart.
Frozen burgers.
What? Yeah, exactly. All
Michelob.
that stuff, and a pineapple in the top part. And it looked so odd to her that she started inquiring around and researching, and she found out that a pineapple, if you see a person with just a pineapple in the top of their cart, that means they're DTF.
What?
Yeah.
Come on. What?
It's a way of getting laid. Yeah. It's some kind. It's a secret signal. If you've got a pineapple in your cart,
This is like
in
garden
the top
gnomes.
of your cart.
Do you know, like, if you have a garden gnome, it
No.
means you swing?
I've never heard that. Really?
Yeah, depending on which way it's facing. Like, if it's facing the house,
What?
Swingers live there.
Lots of people have garden gnomes.
Well, lots of people swing.
Oh.
Listen, you and Sarah, do you
true.
guys consider yourself open-minded?
No, not at all. We're the most closed-minded people. No, I mean, if you're talking about sex, yeah, of course. But God damn it.
Pineapple.
Yeah.
So he's got like Snickers, Michelob, Bubba burgers,
And a pineapple.
and one pineapple that he doesn't even have a knife at home.
Yeah, exactly. I'm guessing it's some on the down low thing. It's got to be a gay thing.
Oh, yeah, there are these signals. I remember when I was in high school, a dear friend of mine, who was actually my girlfriend at the time,
Yeah.
came out as a lesbian.
Okay.
And
A dear friend of mine who was my girlfriend at the time came out as a lesbian. Okay.
yeah,
Just trying to
carry the
parse
one.
all
There's
of
no
those
one.
stories.
There's too many ones to carry.
Okay.
And she said that they used to the lesbian team used to put their keys on a carabiner hanging from a belt loop
That was a sign.
in the front, and that was the I am a lesbian sign.
Wow, interesting.
At least in Boston.
How do you
in
learn
the
these?
80s.
How do you learn these secret signals?
I know.
No one's ever told me a secret signal about anything.
Man.
It's-
I sometimes think, like, if I were gay, I would have such a hard time, because you're like, I am very attracted to that person, but I don't even know if they're also gay.
Right, yeah.
So it's very confusing.
Because you don't know the signals.
And you'd have to be like, hey, do you know any gay signals? And the person would be like, I'm not gay. Damn it. I'll
You'd
go
be
to the
like,
library.
yeah.
And those are like last season's gay signals.
Going to the library, that's code.
Oh.
I'm going to the library tonight. We went to the library last week, and you know what we did? We checked out an Oculus Rift.
It's what?
Yes. Our library has like 3 of them, and you can reserve them.
Shut
And
up.
you get it for a week, and if no one else wants it, you get it for another week.
Jeff, I have something to tell you.
Do tell
Actually,
me.
confess.
Okay.
Did you ever see Jacob's Ladder?
Yes.
You know how he's dead but doesn't know it?
Sure.
Kind of like the other one.
Yeah. Sixth Sense.
He like dies in the beginning.
Sure.
You're still in the Oculus Rift. My garage.
Existence.
There's no bed right there.
Oh, Jesus.
This is an IKEA ad inside the Oculus.
Well, good, because I was going to tell you did a shitty job on that bed.
I don't blame you for telling me that.
Brendan just built a bed in his filthy garage for some disturbing reason.
Yep. The reason is disturbing. I'm not going to lie to you.
Okay, I'm sure. You need some place to hide during the day when you...
Yeah, those blinds draw.
Okay, nice.
Not saying, just saying.
Is that a sign?
If
Is
that
some
bed
kind of
starts
a
wiggling as
gay
if someone's
signal?
up there on it,
Yeah.
don't.
Just ignore it.
Just ignore it,
If
yeah.
I hear some like low moaning, as if someone has been
Sedated.
hobbled and sedated. Yeah. Speaking of sedation, let's move into our first segment, Grave New World.
Oh, Grave New World.
We're all gonna die 'cause it's a great new world. It's a never-ending shit show and we're all gonna die. It's a grave new world.
So Brendan, generally this segment we've got this one in Newspapers. We haven't played the Newspapers theme song in a while, and I think our audience maybe is sad about
A lot
that.
of stuff. Let's do it a cappella.
Okay.
A lot of stuff going on over here, over there.
We're gonna tell you about the world because the world is important.
Newspapers.
We peep the news.
That was
fun.
the MTV Unplugged version.
That was good. Yeah, that was our.
I forgot
totally.
the lyrics in the middle.
Oh yeah, that's fine. Whatever.
There are too many.
Yeah, you don't listen to us. Who does? No one does. Oh, there's a strange arm
I
coming
know.
out of your
That's
house right now.
That's my wife's hand.
Is she motioning to you? Who's she motioning to?
Hopefully she comes out and you can see the
it me?
pants she's
Hi.
wearing.
Hi.
Her pants are having a serious
Walt.
argument with the world. Oh, you can't see that.
I missed your pants.
Yeah.
I missed your wife's pants. That's another gay
missed your
signal. I missed your wife's pants. Well, come on over. That's how the exchange goes.
I think I missed your wife's pants is the name of this episode.
Oh, that's great. Oh, let's write that down.
got
Okay,
it.
good. Grave New World. So I bought there's a Hasbro sale. Two things to say about this. And I bought the Trivial Pursuit 2010 to 2020 edition. Such a thing exists
That's
now.
already out?
Yeah.
Oh, because it's 2021.
It's 2021. They had 10 years to put it together.
Wow. So they just had to put the finishing touches in the beginning of
Just
this
the
year.
finishing touches.
And then get it to China to get printed.
That's right,
And then
exactly.
get back before the supply chain crisis.
Yes, and there's several questions about our benevolent Lord and ruler, Donald Trump. So I think they made a couple of bad guesses.
Bet on the wrong horse.
They bet on the wrong horse.
Unless the Q people are correct, which they might be. He might
Could
still be president.
You never know. But first thing I have to say about this box is fucking Hasbro. Come on. You used to get I remember the original Genus edition of Trivial Pursuit. Remember when it was all the rage, when it was it was an objet d'art. It was like,
It was indeed.
it was like a gorgeous like tome, like this thick box that you would open up and you'd have your Trivial Pursuit questions and your pies and blah, 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 right?
Yeah.
And this thing was all, it comes and the box is all like crushed up. Like it's like you couldn't even crush that original box.
No.
Like it was stiff. You could stand on top of it.
You could jack up your car to work underneath it.
Exactly. And then the parts are just all shitty looking and plastic. They've just, they nickel and dime you, brother.
That's Mitt Romney.
They nickel and dime you.
It's private equity.
Nickel and dime you.
I'm sure Hasbro was bought by a private equity company, and now they're being strip mined for equity.
Actually, family owned and operated.
Still?
Yes.
Then they're just getting senile.
But they're a garbage company. My friend worked there. Our dear friend Matt Ransford worked
Hey,
there.
Matt.
Terrible
The
place to
difference, God, board games all drifted away from hand-drawn art. As soon as like board games and children's books the Adobe Suite got their hands on those
Right.
those two properties.
Yeah.
It was all over. Like it all sucks. There's nothing like the original Monopoly is amazing.
Yeah.
Someone's hand drew that shit.
Yeah, exactly.
And you can tell it was like a human was hired to design the Monopoly guy because it's like one person's view of the world.
Oh yeah, that's same way with Pictionary. We got Pictionary recently. That thing's a piece of shit now. It's like the most garbage looking game you've ever seen in your life. It used to be
Unacceptable.
classy.
Yeah.
Anyway, my point about this Trivial Pursuit game is that I got it because I thought, oh, the kids lived through this era. Like maybe they would know some of the answers to these questions. And so we tried to play the other day, and there's a lot that they don't know. But there are a lot of things that happened while they were alive, and it made me think, like, because we have lost the monoculture, because we have lost the idea, like in 2010, when Hazel was born, like the internet, like that year just eradicated all culture, because that's when, like, YouTube, suddenly you could stream video and you didn't need any other culture anymore. So, like, to me, like, it just destroyed the idea of, like, any kind of monoculture. And now our children, like, it erased everything that came before. Like, our children will never see Gilligan's Island. Like, that was long before our time.
Right,
and
but
we
I've seen
watched
every
it.
episode.
Yeah, exactly. But our children will never see that. Like, it might as
Yeah.
well not even exist. So then it just made me realize that, like, all of this ephemera, this, like, this knowledge that we've spent a lifetime collecting as Gen Xers is now completely irrelevant. It means nothing. And
Yes.
our entire existence has been erased.
That's true. We are the theme of our generation is total irrelevance, and every time we think we get a purchase on the world, and are like, oh, okay, I'm making progress. Whatever we're making progress in, that becomes not just irrelevant, but decimatedly irrelevant.
Oh my God. You could start a TikTok channel tomorrow and TikTok would just fall apart.
Right, exactly.
And you'd be
It'd
like, then
already
you'd be
over.
the last guy, and we could still be on Meerkat, for crying out loud, Brendan. we were pioneers.
Yeah.
On Meerkat.
Speaking of the wrong horse.
Pioneers.
God damn it. Was that bought by Twitter?
I don't know what happened to any of those things.
What happened to any of them?
It's all TikTok now, I guess.
It's
what was
this
that
one
one this
corporation.
summer that everyone
It was an audio one? There was an audio one for a while.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah, where
and
people
everyone
would
was like,
get
"Oh,
on
you have to get invited." Clubhouse, and it was all the rage for like
Yeah.
a week. And then,
I got on there for one. I got on Clubhouse and I was listening to one of the conference calls. But it's like but the thing is, it's being on a conference call. Who the
really
fuck wants to in their spare time be on a conference call
with like everyone, all different types of people talking, and just you can't trace any of it.
Like it's like a party line. It's Tony V, and it's like Tony V stuff like that. And so he was talking about like it was a thing about Clubhouse. It was sort of meta going up.
Who's
the butt
Tony
of
V?
it. He's that guy who's like a business influencer.
Don't know him.
Gary V.
Gary V.
I don't know. I can't remember. It's Tony or Gary.
Garavarian.
Charles V.
Vivarian.
Yeah, that's one.
Yeah. Gary Vivarian.
Gary Vivarian. Quick point of order. I got my third jab today. I am boosted.
Did you?
Yeah.
How is that a Meniere's thing?
Nope.
Like what?
Being a professor.
Oh, I see. Well, that's good. Do they have there's a protocol for it? Is it any different from another shot, or they just give you the same dosage?
They gave me a 10% coupon for anything
For an ice cream
at Vaughn's.
Oh, that's nice.
It was at Vaughn's.
That's nice. I still have not even had a second shot because I had the Johnson & Johnson.
Oh.
I'm one of the 8 million, the few, the proud.
Wait, there are only 8 million people that got Johnson &
Only
Johnson?
8 million
Are you
people.
kidding me?
I thought that was going to be the one that was going to sweep the world because
Wait a
it's only
second.
one shot.
8 divided by 3. So that's 2% of the United States. But I've met like 5 people out of that 8 million.
Oh, really?
So that's crazy.
It
Maybe
might have
they're
been
all in LA or something.
Well, you know what? Yeah, the union. I think the unions. Like I got mine through not that I'm in the union, but it was some offshoot of the actors union or something like that.
Oh, interesting.
Because I lied my way into it.
Well done. Well, you
Thank
had
you.
to.
I guess, but now I've spent.
This was 6 months ago. Shit was crazy back
I know,
then.
but
You had to survive.
Yeah, I thought so, but now who knows? Who knows? I could die any minute now because of this Johnson & Johnson damn vaccine.
Yeah. I think apparently it turns your blood into mucus or something like that.
Yeah. Oh, it feels very thick. It's like pancake syrup, actually. When I cut myself, it's quite sweet. It's quite tasty.
I got Pfizer, which means I got an instant boner that lasted 4 or more hours.
Oh, lucky guy.
Yeah, it was pretty exciting.
Did you have to call your doctor, though, because it lasted a little bit too long?
Yeah, I call my doctor if they last, more than 4 minutes at this point.
So that's my thing. We have no shared culture anymore, Brendan.
That's very sad.
It's a grave new world. I feel like there's no I just don't know what is going to replace it. I mean, there's like my kids, like there are YouTubers who my kids will watch.
Mm-hmm. But who's heard of them? They have nothing to share with their fellow man. Like,
yeah,
everyone will be like, "Oh, I saw that meme. It was a picture of the Fonz or something."
yeah. Well, it's just the like, it's the replacement of like, yeah, the meme. Every day there's a new thing, and you have to be up on the latest thing, and you can't like, you can't cultivate anything. I feel like
It's like one of those dance clubs where the song changes every 15 seconds.
yeah, right. That's what is that such a thing?
Like at raves, I think, because
Yeah.
everyone's like rolling, and so they need new stimulation every
Right,
15 seconds,
right.
or they just start to fall
It's
asleep.
the eternal drop.
The eternal drop.
That's what we're living through right now.
We're living through the eternal drop.
Yeah, and there's not like there's nothing. See, my kids don't get, everything is filtered out. My kids don't get anything that they don't really care about. Like everything that they participate in, content media wise, is something they have chosen. They don't,
Or is it choosing them? I mean, eventually the tail starts wagging the dog on that.
well, that could be.
You know, in Silicon Valley, they're like, next you're going to be into this, and next
Sure.
you're going to, and they start steering you, and then
Sure.
we're just all fucking
Well, they're both
zombies.
neo-Nazis now. Did I tell you
well,
that
that's
about,
where it's all
about
headed.
my kids?
I didn't. You didn't, but
Yeah.
I sort of saw it coming.
Yeah, I mean, it was obvious. Exactly.
What's his name? Who invented the light bulb? You know the guy.
Eddie?
Yeah, Edison.
Tommy Eddie?
Franklin Delano Edison.
Yes, I recall the fella.
He pictured for the moving picture. I must have talked about this in Daddies before.
The zoetrope?
Yeah, he was like, I've invented the
cinescope?
moving picture, so now everyone can know everything, and we can teach each other violin. He pictured like PBS/YouTube 100 years earlier,
sure.
and then they were like, no, it's going to be cowboy movies, you dickhead.
Right, yeah,
and so, and then it just became schlock entertainment for 100 years. But then he got his wish with YouTube, and now
Mm-hmm.
everyone's teaching each other violin. But here's what he didn't realize: is the human race is a bunch of shitbags.
Yeah.
And so it turns out we're all just going to be lying to each other, using it to lie to one another.
Oh, interesting.
And it did not move everything forward. It is, in fact, driving us into the ground.
Yeah, it's true. Accurate.
So he rightly predicted it, but he had a little too much faith in the integrity of information itself.
Yeah, not everyone. No one should. There should be gatekeepers.
Right.
We should only have a few people.
Three
creating
networks.
These things.
You know what? When Fox joined and there was a fourth network on UHF, that's when
It all
really
fell
things started
apart.
going downhill.
It all fell apart.
It all fell apart.
Yeah,
And like Married with Children, like what is this? Is this some sort of sitcom?
that was pretty good.
It's no Cosby Show.
Come on, Get a Life.
Get a Life
The
was
new
amazing.
The New Adventures of Beans Baxter.
I don't remember that one.
Werewolf.
No.
I remember their entire opening lineup, the Tracy Ullman Show,
Tracy Ullman Show is actually.
because I was so excited to have another TV network, because that's what our fucking lives were like when we were kids.
We only had
There was
three.
a fourth network.
Yeah,
It was
but
the most
there-
exciting thing to happen in my lifetime.
That's true. And so, did I like the A Team as much as I did, or were there only three networks?
Yeah, no, you didn't. No, the A-Team's terrible. You just watched it because there was nothing else to watch.
Yeah. I
You were
guess that's
fine
true.
with it.
Is Mr. T still alive?
I think so.
Huh.
I pity the fool that doesn't know the answer to that question.
His real name is James Tiberius Kirk,
something like
I think,
that.
or something
yeah,
like
I think
that.
that's right.
Okay.
Brendan, what is your grave new world?
Oh, you know what I realized?
Yes,
I
okay.
spend a lot of my day nowadays absolutely fucking hating Kirsten Sinema and Joe Manchin, hating
Oh,
them with
it's-
every fiber of my being.
Well, okay, yes, but also they're good fall guys for a party that doesn't really want to do anything radical.
Exactly. Yeah,
But,
they're
yes.
doing what Mitch McConnell does for the Republicans. We're all supposed to hate him so we don't hate the rest of them as much.
Mm-hmm.
And what I realized about those two is that there'll be others. Like they could resign tomorrow,
Yeah.
and then two new
They'll
senators
sprout up.
will
Two
be
senators
like-
we're not even thinking about will take their places
Well,
because it's a
yeah.
position of it's a high profile position.
Well, and I think these lobbyists descend from that have all the billionaires.
Yeah.
Descend on them, and they must. I think that it's not just they want money. I think although they are awful
you're
people and they just want money, but these lobbyists are so good at their job. They're turning them into like Manchurian candidates, where they make the
Right.
fact that they'll be getting a ton of money immaterial when it comes to what they're really doing is saving the planet from high taxes on the wealthy or something like that.
Yes,
because
they prey on their egos.
Yeah, there's some blood runs red on the highway equivalent movie
Yeah.
that they show these fucking idiots. And the candidates come into radio shows to be interviewed. I've talked about this. And they say to their handlers, what are my opinions today? Okay, got it. Anyway, they're just empty suits. But they're showing this blood runs red thing. And they're like, wait, things can't change because it would be off. Okay.
Yes.
I'm with you. What do I do? Where do I sign?
Yes.
And so they get their yachts and they get their everything. They happen to become rich, but they're just brainwashed into thinking they're doing something good. Like Kristen Sinema can't be pure evil. She has to think this is the right thing to do.
Yes, I think you're absolutely right, because she's like, and she's like, okay, because there are two things I can tell you about politicians. Number one, they have tremendous egos. Mm-hmm. They're all narcissists.
Absolutely.
Number two, they're pretty stupid.
Yeah. Yes.
They're stupid.
Yep.
They're just really good at like...
They're vessels.
Yeah, they're vessels. So like someone comes to them with an argument, and like Kristen Sinema flatters Kristen Sinema like, this is going to be a hard road for you. You know, you're going to really have to fight because like, but you're a fighter.
Yeah.
You're a fighter.
Yes,
and you know what
exactly.
people really want. Like,
Yeah.
you know what is going to be best for this nation, and that's going to be no $15 minimum wage.
Right.
You know?
Right, because imagine the stores closing. Who knows what kind of song and dance they
These
do.
stupid people out here, they're not like you. They don't get it. They're not smart like you, Kristen Sinema. I think you're exactly right
We
about
see
that.
you in the White House. And then they start talking about how George W. Bush was basically like handpicked by this cabal of billionaires that do all this bullshit.
Sure.
And they're like, you could be next.
Right.
Like they just like, they'll be, why can't you be president of the United States? That's
Yeah.
probably what they're doing, is dangling her as president, because she's pleasing so many Republicans right now.
Sure.
But still is a dino. And so therefore,
And this is, yes. And see, this is one of the issues with everyone having a platform, is that like, it makes it so much easier for people like that to just completely discount millions and millions of people's opinions, because they're just like, well, there's haters everywhere now.
yeah.
You know, it's like,
Yeah, that's true.
it's like they're not like, there is no public pressure, because it's like, it's all public pressure.
Right.
You know, like I'm
Exactly.
sure she's getting it equally from fucking Q believers who think that she secretly lives on the moon or something, you know? And it's like,
She doesn't?
I mean,
No, I read about that.
you
I did
never
my
know.
own research, Jeff.
Yeah, thank you. I'm glad that you did. I did too. That's why I have the Johnson & Johnson. I did my own
I got the
research,
Jackson
buddy.
and Jackson. Not many people have it.
They jabbed it in my ass in the back of a Tasty Freeze.
And
but,
they promised me
yeah.
it's twice as effective as those
But the
other
guy
ones.
had a really nice mustache, so I trusted him.
Did you just say Tasty Freeze?
Yeah, the back of a Tasty Freeze.
Are those a Midwest phenomenon? Because I only see Foster's Freeze in Los Angeles, but I remember Tasty Freeze is in Scranton, Pennsylvania.
I don't know. It's just a name I've heard. We never had
Love
one
it.
in
The Tasty
Michigan.
Freeze.
The
There's one in
Tasty Freeze.
Scranton.
It's better than Foster's Freeze. Come on.
Foster's Freeze.
Foster's
It's not even
Freeze.
it's difficult to say.
And you know what? It's not even like what is that place? They have like
Yeah.
75,000 food items on their menu. Have you ever gotten anything except ice cream at Foster's Freeze?
I've only driven by quickly a Foster's Freeze, and their buildings are dirty as shit. They're like dingy, sad buildings.
Well, I still buy ice cream from them, but it's not even ice cream. It's iced milk.
What?
It's like a fake thing.
What are you talking about?
Foster's, yeah, it's frozen milk or something.
Do they do the thing where the chocolate hardens and it's like a hard shell
yeah,
on the
yeah.
outside?
That's good.
pretty
That's so good. That's so good, dude.
Yeah.
So good, dude.
Or the red kind.
Oh yeah, the red kind, dude.
The red, you bite
What is
it
it?
and
It's not
cracks.
strawberry. It's just red.
It's just red. Isn't it red chocolate?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, maybe so. Shall we move on to leisure class?
Oh, leisure class.
Come on, everybody. We're going to school. Now it's time to find out what Dad thinks is cool. It's leisure class. Dad Jean's leisure class.
Come on, everybody. We're going to school.
Oh yeah, just yeah.
Maybe we
please.
should do what you call it? What am I saying? What am I trying to say? Acoustic the entire way.
Acoustic the entire way.
Yeah.
I think that we'll have to do that ahead of time. We'll have to plan that ahead of time.
Plan it.
Because I have a new theme song tonight because we have a new segment. Bro.
Oh, I'm excited about that.
Did I tell you about that? I have a new segment.
You did mention that.
I mentioned it.
I've been trying to think of a thing to contribute to it all day,
Oh, really?
and I might have to trot out some old garbage.
You may. I mean, you have. Come on, you have a lot to contribute.
You'd think,
to this, I'm
right?
sure,
And I
but
can't.
on the spot. It's hard. So, do you want to go first on your leisure class?
Oh, I'd
What's
love
your
to.
leisure class?
I'm reading this new book.
Yeah.
Called The Brief and Wondrous Life of Oscar Wilde.
Oh, see, I have seen this book before. I've never read it.
Oh, you haven't?
No.
It was like all the rage 10
Junot Diaz
years ago.
Is that
Junot
who
Diaz.
who wrote it?
Holy fuck. Can that guy write a book?
Oh, really?
Oh my God. I would give anything to have his level of freedom in writing.
Oh, interesting. See, I never know about those like books that are that wildly popular because sometimes they're just like unreadable, you know? Sometimes
do
it's
know.
like you get that Oprah effect where you're just like reading something that everyone's reading and you're like, this is horrible.
Right.
But
exactly.
this one is
This a
good.
collective. It is
Quite nice.
great.
Magical realism?
It won either the National Book Award or the Pulitzer, I want to say.
Or the Oprah Prize.
There's nothing. There's no reference to Oprah on it. Interesting.
Really?
But he writes. He's just viciously. Is a vicious wit, and he's just great.
Oh,
It's
that sounds good.
Really, really, really terrific.
Wow. Okay.
And every sentence, like, he doesn't even observe grammar, and like it's like it's just there's a feeling to it. There's
Ooh,
an energy,
love
you
it.
know.
Yeah.
There, like it'll say like Oscar and Lola sitting on the hood of the car, comma Oscar and Lola standing in line at the Foster's Freeze, comma Oscar and Lola standing too close for him not to smell her breath. Period. So like there's no there's no verb.
Yeah. He's just
He
having
goes.
He's just having fun.
He's just having fun,
putting it out there.
putting it out there.
I love that.
And it's great.
Oh,
and
my
it's
God.
just it's awesome.
Oh,
I
I'll
totally
look into
recommend
it.
it. I've seen it on bookshelves for years, and I've been like, I know.
Yeah, yeah. It's
And
got
finally,
like
I was like, oh, fuck it.
a flowery pattern or something in the words or something. Is that right?
Yep, maybe. And it's a silhouette of the man's head.
Oh, I don't.
The main
I don't
character.
recall that. I just recall words, but
Oh.
maybe I'm wrong.
I just reminded myself of something. You know what the kids say these days, the youngsters?
Do tell.
They refer to certain among them as having
Among us?
main character energy.
Oh, interesting.
Isn't that brilliant?
Is that like BDE, big
BD
dick
Wong?
energy?
What's that?
Big dick energy?
BDE.
Yeah.
Yes, probably, but it's something in which that person, everything about them, they're just clearly the protagonist in some story because they're just
Interesting.
larger than life. They're going at it. They're big.
I'm on the fence about that one.
You wouldn't say that you, Jeff Dinsmore, have main character energy because I would.
No, not at all. I'm the most forgettable guy you've ever encountered.
Are you kidding me?
Oh, Jesus. Brendan, let me tell you my woes.
Does someone need a hug?
I need more than a hug. I need a
Oh.
third jab.
All right.
I need a second jab.
Oh, you can mix and match, by the way. You can now get like a Pfizer jab for having had Jackson and Jackson.
No, they say that, but it's still like a weird, like not, like
Not
they're
legal.
like they're supposedly going to be bringing out a Johnson and Johnson booster, which is supposed to be quite good. But now I'm just doomed for the rest of my life. I'm on some path.
You got to watch out for those O-rings on the Johnson and Johnson.
Hell
booster.
yeah. Hell yeah. No, I love the O-rings. Oh, speaking of, how the Dodgers doing?
Oh, yeah, we should check. Okay, so you tell me your whatchamacallit, and then I will tell you the situation.
Well, I have to ask you a question first. Do you finish books now? Is that something that you have?
7-2. Well, how long have you known me, Jeff?
I've known you for quite some time. And
How many books have I read in that time?
My impression is that you literally never finish a book. But am I wrong about that? You said you finished the book that Brian L. Perkins bought us.
I did.
Oh, by the way, I saw Brian L. Perkins out in San Francisco.
How do you like that? The very famous, their third man in
Yes.
our podcast.
Yes.
The one who never speaks because he's not on the air with us.
Yes, exactly. He's like the guy who danced for the Mighty Mighty Boss Tones.
Yes. Oh, that guy.
He's that guy.
I saw him in a McDonald's once. I'm sure I already told that story.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah. There's one, I saw them a bunch of times, and one of the songs, he just crossed himself over and over again, like over and over. He stood there for 5 minutes crossing himself.
Oh my God. Amazing.
And I was like, this is your job, dude?
I'm into ska. I love it. I love it. I had a resurgence recently where I was just like, you know what? Fuck it. Ska was fun.
Ska was fun.
Don't make me feel bad about liking ska.
Their song "Last Dead Mouse"
Yeah.
has one of the sickest guitar riffs I've ever heard.
I can't think of how does that one go.
Last
Dead Mouse!
It's been Last Dead Mouse. Well, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. Someday I suppose.
Never been a better time to buy. I'm Dickie Barrett.
Oh, see, that's a very different Dickie than I would do.
I'm trying to do. I can't remember.
Someday, who knows?
Oh, that's what it is. Yeah.
Someday I suppose. I love that. I love people who can't sing.
I can't do it.
I love people who can't sing
And just yell.
Yeah, exactly. I just love it. Like, yeah. Shane McGowan, best vocalist. Wait, so 7-2 is the Dodgers game. Thank you. Which
And it's
you guys
in the ninth.
You guys already know probably what happened in the entire series at this point.
Yeah, it's probably the World Series probably going on. Imagine if it were a rematch between the Red Sox and the Dodgers.
Let's see. Maybe
I told you
that'll
it was at the
happen.
18-inning game, right?
No. How was that?
It was insane.
How
The game was 18 innings long.
At what time of the morning did you leave that place?
1:45. I left Dodger Stadium. They stopped selling food in the seventh inning,
Oh,
and it was
God.
18 innings long, and
Oh,
everyone was
Jesus.
dying of thirst and hunger.
People
but no one would
stayed?
leave.
That's
Oh,
impressive.
everyone stayed.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Leisure class. My leisure class is I recently read a book called Meet Me in the Bathroom. And this is an oral history of the New York rock scene in the late 90s and early 2000s, which is when I was in New York. So it was very cool. It was like they talked to the Yeah Yeah Yeahs and the Strokes and Interpol and
Interpol was the
White
shit.
Stripes.
I love them.
I'm going to see them at Old Person Fest next summer at the
There's something called Old
at
Person
the
Fest.
Rose Bowl. No, it's called the Just Like Heaven tour, but it's like every band that we loved. It's Interpol, MIA,
Paper
Modest
Planes, MIA?
Mouse. Yes,
Oh,
MIA.
Modest Mouse,
The
nice.
Shins,
Oh my God!
Chick Chick Chick, The Hives.
Wow.
The Ravenettes. It's like a total like
This is next summer, and you
go
already have a
team.
ticket.
Yeah, because it's an all-day festival.
Oh, that's awesome.
At the
Can I
Rose
come?
Bowl. It's very exciting.
Let's do Molly and
If I have any extra tickets,
Oh yeah, no, let's get my own. Oh, is it
bus.
already sold out?
you can buy one. They're $175.
Oh no, thanks.
Okay. You probably have General Manier, a visit from
Oh,
General
yeah, what am I
Manier
doing? I
someday
can't go to
anyway.
concerts.
You can't go to a concert. Anyway, so this book, it was, I mean, I tore through it because it was like places I knew and like I was like next door to the scene. It was all like happening. Like I was in Greenpoint. Everything.
It was
like,
in Billybird,
A lot of this
right?
was happening in Williamsburg. Yeah, but it's weird because it didn't feel like I was in a rock scene too, but I was in the rock scene that no one knew about and no one cared about. You know,
Like you were playing yourself, right?
I was playing myself, and we had like a group of bands that we would play with in Williamsburg, and we had like a small like local following, and there were like it was a very insular like group of people.
You lived the dream that I always wanted and I never got.
Thank you. I don't know. Was it a dream? It was
Yeah.
fun.
Was
it was
it?
pretty fun.
Would you recommend it?
Yeah, I drank a lot, probably more than I should have.
Mm.
I wish I hadn't drank so much because like I did some pretty decent things that I don't really remember very well. I think I've blocked my memory out because of the way that I lived my life back
The
then.
alcohol, the body punishing alcoholic.
Body
haze.
punishing. It's just like that's what you do in New York. You go out and you drink.
Yeah.
Like what else is there to do? You got to go out and drink.
You gotta go out and
You
drink
gotta go-
and
you gotta
take
go
your
and
shirt
drink.
off and start yelling.
You make some money at your
Steal-
job, and then you go and you drink.
Yeah, and then you go steal a car.
And you steal a car, and then you go do heroin, and then you meet a couple of hookers, and then you end up with a baby that you never know
Right. So they come knocking on your door.
until they come knocking on your door. Yeah, 20 years later. No, but so here's one thing about this book, which I liked it and I enjoyed it, and I would recommend it if you're interested in that sort of like rock scene. But a couple of things, a couple of observations. Number one is that I wanted those bands to be like, I wanted them to be like smarter than your average bear, you
Yep.
know. But like when they started getting famous, like all the stories are just about them like trashing hotel rooms and getting fucked up and getting on drugs. And I'm just like, the yeah yeahs, really? The one band that comes across really well is TV on the Radio,
I love them.
because they're just like, I mean it's all like they're all black and one white guy, and they're just like, we didn't fucking fit in at all, you know?
No, yeah.
Like,
And they did Passing Strange on
and
Broadway.
they're so much smarter. They did Passing
They
Strange.
they did a Broadway musical.
No, that
Of
was
just their
that was
music.
Stu from.
Oh, sorry, I'm thinking of their other one. No, not Passing Strange. It was in different. Or what? No, I thought they did. TV on the Radio had a Broadway musical.
They may have.
Oh, Passing. You're right.
Passing Strange was Stu from.
But there was they had another thing. It
Negro
also
Problem.
sounded vaguely
Passing Strange is quite good.
Shakespearean. Their title, though. In any case,
I'll believe you. But so they came across as well. I liked them. But it was weird reading this book because like there's another book, Please Kill Me. Have you ever read that? Which is it's done the same way. It was sort of the pioneer book for this. It's called like an oral history. So it's all just quotes from different people. So
from different perspectives on the same incident.
yeah. So it's like Iggy Pop being like, so then I walked into the CBGBs and I saw David Bowie standing across the room, and then they have a quote from David Bowie. He's like, and that's when Iggy Pop walked in, and then
awesome.
they have a quote,
Yeah.
and like I love that book. Like that was just like game changing book for me when I read it. But I realized as I was reading this book that like it would have been similar if like to the layman, like to my kids, maybe if they got super into the yeahs and they read this book, they would have the same feeling that I had reading Please Kill Me. But like having lived there at the time, I'm just like, you're so full of shit.
Oh.
Like the guy from like Fisher Spooner is like, so you gotta understand this was the cocaine era of New York. And I'm like, fuck you. I'm like, what are you talking about? I would live there. This wasn't the fucking cocaine era.
Yeah.
You and your friends did cocaine.
Exactly.
They didn't make it the cocaine era.
Yes, there's always, and this is what cocaine people are always like. There's
Totally.
always no matter how old you are or what year it is,
Yeah.
there's always like a couple of you fucking doing cocaine,
Right.
And no one, they
You
don't
gotta
invite anyone
understand.
else, and they think they're cooler than everybody.
Right. And that's what, and just like, but I bought it from like my punk idols. I was like, whoa.
You bought
guys are
cocaine
so-
from your punk
Yeah,
idols?
I did. Yeah, I did. Yeah. Richie Hell or Richard Hell and the Voidoids were my drug dealers.
Right from the stage.
Yeah, exactly. I used to go see the guys from Suicide, and they'd sell me some.
Oh yeah. The suicidal
Bottled
tendencies guys were all
cocaine.
straight edge are totally boring.
Yeah.
Wait, a quick point of order.
I don't think that's
Yeah,
true.
yeah, yeahs did My Yellow Country Teeth.
No, I don't know. I don't know that song.
Okay,
They did
go on.
Maps. Babe, they don't love you like I love you. Wait.
Oh,
love you,
yeah.
love
I
you.
think I did that on Guitar Hero or some shit.
Yeah, of course. But yeah, so like I say, I would be into this from my punk rock idols. Like I just gave them more respect and was just like, oh wow, they really fucking lived through it. But then it just made me realize like maybe it's always just all been bullshit. And it's always
Yeah.
just been like kids are just a bunch of fucking posers and
Yep.
they're just like
It's just mythologization.
yeah, exactly. And it's not, there's nothing to mythologize there really, except, they made some good music.
The difference is, like David Bowie and Iggy Pop, there were fewer outlets of media back then.
Sure.
So therefore, they were putting out a much stronger signal.
Right.
Therefore, they are that much more mythologized.
Yeah.
The level. Oh, I have a contribution now for
Okay.
for that next segment.
Okay.
Because the level of the fewer the outlets of media,
Yeah.
the stronger your signal, the larger your myth.
Well, and that's a great segue into our new segment, Theory Time.
Theory time.
Postulate, we hypothesize, we blast holes in the cosmos with our laser eyes. Now it's theory time. Whoa, it's theory time. It's time for theories. Dad Jane's theory time. Yes, sir.
Brendan, tell me about your theory.
Oh, I have a new theory, Jeff, and it is
Yeah.
this.
Okay.
The fewer, I think I just said it, the fewer, so meaning like Iggy Pop, David Bowie, John
Sure.
Belushi, all
Cougar
these people.
Mellencamp.
Cougar Mellencamp.
Yeah.
Were all, they were all around when there was your radio station and your record store, and there was Capitol Records, and there was BMI, and that's it. Maybe Columbia. And, by the way-
John Cougar concentration camp, is that something? Is that a good band name?
Oh my God.
Sorry.
I saw this
Okay.
thing that I thought was a little on the funny side, and I tried it out on my brother, and he was like, "That's not funny."
Oh no,
And it was.
you crossed a line.
I crossed the line.
Okay.
Let me throw it at you and
Yeah.
our listeners. Alien versus Predator versus Brown versus the Board of Education.
That's awesome. Wow, that's
God,
great.
it still is funny. It's still
really
funny.
good.
I think it's really funny. Anyway.
Yeah. Was that yours? Did you?
No, I
Oh,
found,
okay.
I found it somewhere.
That's funny.
The Alien versus Predator versus Brown versus the Board.
That's
Can you
good.
finish the sentence?
I love
Anyway.
how much you like it.
Oh God, it's
Tickles
so
you.
It tickles me. Tickles me.
Okay.
That okay. Sorry.
Calm.
Yet another.
Calm energy.
I know. Calm
Bowie.
energy. And yet another thing.
Alan
We're
Parsons.
talking, I will
we
come
were
back to
talking
that.
about
I promise.
Mike Oldfield, Tubular Bells.
We did it way before it was cool.
Yeah.
There was
Jeff
a thing. There was
Lynne
this
from
long
Electric
Facebook
Light
thread
Orchestra, yeah.
where me and Dave Dowling
Sure.
used to do this thing where we would combine
Cocaine.
movies titles like the Buena Witch Social Projects.
Okay.
and we were doing this in the late 90s. Anyway,
Yeah.
and then Facebook comes along and we revived it. And the guy who was probably the best at it in the world was Greg Felden.
Oh wow.
Because of this entry, a fish called Rwanda.
Oh wow. Wow.
Oh God.
good.
Anyway,
I love
so
it. I love it. We found Brendan's like
I'm so
humor.
ticklish.
That's your your form of humor. That's
Fucking
your like.
kills me.
I love it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they are the fucking 60s and everything. People
Sure.
just wrote letters to each other. They barely had landlines, you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
So the point being, everything had to cram through these tiny holes to get out to the world, and anything that actually did what became gigantic and mythologized instantly.
Because it was it was a tremendous effort to get it. Out there.
and it involved luck and
Like,
some.
how did
like,
you even
some
know? You couldn't
person
even
and
read
then
a reference
thing.
book. You couldn't read a book that said, "This is how you do this thing." You'd
No,
just be like,
right. You have to walk into
How
a
about
building with
this?
some talent agent or someone makes a fucking phone
Right.
call.
Tin Pan Alley.
It's Tin Pan
Just, like,
Alley, and then
knocking on the
suddenly it's
door.
like.
But you got to
positively
learn
4th Street.
somehow. You got to learn from someone about Tin Pan Alley
To even know it's there.
Yeah, to even
This
know
is
that
back
it
to the gay
exists.
signals.
Yeah, you got to find Neil Diamond. You got to look him up in the phone book and be like, "Hey,
Yeah,
Neil."
exactly. And his phone number is 123 taproot manuscript.
Sure. Okay.
That made perfect sense.
To everyone, I'm sure. We have one star rating on iTunes.
Do we?
It brought our entire average down to 4.9.
Whoever you are, you're a fucking
You
asshole.
fucking asshole. But it's because of jokes like that, Brendan.
Oh, the D joke.
Yeah.
That wasn't even a D joke. That was a Z
Taproot.
joke.
Yeah, you went all the way back around to A. I think that was like back to A.
It was an upside down A.
Yeah, you hop from point A to point A.
I
Okay.
need to, sometimes I open my mouth and I figure I'll come up with something funny by the end of the sentence.
Yeah, that's good. You're walking the wire.
Walking the
The
wire.
wire is life, my friend.
The wire is life.
Okay.
Football is life.
Okay.
So that's it. So
No, you still haven't even said a
so the point is now
Yeah.
there is no. Well, my theory is that the reason David Bowie is larger than life is because
Right.
it's 2 different colored eyes for one thing, and for another, he came through a tiny hole. He came out large through a tiny hole.
Yeah.
Whereas
Okay.
now we have giant, yawning, dilated, huge holes,
Sure.
out of which anyone can just flop out of whenever they
Anything.
want.
Yeah.
and just like. I
Yeah.
guess I'm an influencer now, or
Right.
whatever, you know. And so, as a result, no one will ever be larger than life again. In fact, and here's my
Interesting.
theory: we are now all and forever smaller than life,
Smaller than life. I love it.
and that's the title of my book.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
There it is.
That's good.
Theory time.
I think we have to end it there.
No,
don't-
no,
don't
I
think
want your
can top
theory.
That. My theory is going to be a miserable letdown after that.
I disagree.
excitement. But let me just piggyback on that real quick and say that yes, I would agree with that entire theory. The other thing is that because of this limitation of like other things to sort of emulate, they were also inventing the form. So like a band like the Strokes, which I quite like the Strokes. That first Strokes album I think is fucking
amazing.
killer album. It is a great album.
Meow meow. Something.
But it's obviously just a accumulation of different influences, like very well
same-
stacked together.
So is Hamlet.
Right. Well, of course. But it's in a different way. Like Bowie, of course. Like there were things in the ether that he was taking from. But it's like, the line from Oscar Wilde to David Bowie is probably explorable. But it's not like there were Oscar Wilde records that came out 5 years before that he would put on and say, I'm going to play that Oscar Wilde riff.
Yeah, they say, oh, right. It's like, let's see, the chord progression in Importance of Being Earnest is 1, 6, 4, 5.
Exactly. They're and of course rock and roll existed before punk rock, and the Ramones are basically just a doo-wop band, right? Like played louder and with guitars.
Oh.
But like, yeah, it's all like 60s rock. Sure.
Oh, how do you like that?
I don't know. Anyway, whatever.
Except the Kinks. They were off on their own.
Off on their own trip. They have a lot of good I like those fellas.
Shit.
My theory is that I've been trying to figure out why the Zoom world of work feels so weird to me. Why I have such a hard time with this like constant Zooming that I'm in. And here's what I realized. First of all, I said last week that, or in our last episode, that it all works to the benefit of the corporation because you can't form a collective opinion on Zoom.
That's definitely true.
So we will probably be working from home for the rest of our lives because the corporation will realize that.
You can't organize.
No, we can't organize. We can't even have we can't even get together and be like, oh, you think that guy's a dick? I do too. I think that guy's a dick too.
The dicks are winning.
The dicks are winning. They're just blazing a dicky trail through this work world.
Leaving
this hybrid world.
A trail of snail
slime.
slime.
Trail of jizz. Just a jizzy trail through our Zoom. But so what I realize is that Zoom creates a third frame on work.
What are the
on
first
your work communication. So the first frame is just normal communication between your coworkers, like the weirdness of sort of like we're in this like sort of manufactured environment and stuck together, not through our own volition, but like we all landed here and now we have to communicate with each other, and like eventually you sort of like, after you've been at a place for a couple of months, you start to see like, oh, that guy's pretty cool. Like he knows what's up.
Yeah.
Like, that's my people over there.
That guy's
like,
on the
this
level.
guy over here is like,
hip
stay
to
away
the
from him.
cause. That
Right.
guy, yeah.
So that's the first frame. The second frame is the power dynamic.
Okay.
It's how are you engaging with those above and below you. And now the third frame is Zoom. It's like a third layer that just goes over all of these relationships, and it makes it fucking impossible to have an actual connection with people.
Yeah.
Like it's taken me, my job has never been anything but virtual because I started this job right at the beginning of the pandemic.
Oh, wow.
And I work with people in New York, and like I work with people all over the country. And it took me a good 6 months before I found that one person that I could talk to.
Yeah, the work spouse energy.
And until like maybe like a year after that I started to feel like, okay, I kind of like have the lay of the land, and I know how this person feels about this and that person feels about that. And that is very, very important to me personally in work. Like I feel like that is my like connection and just like getting into the weeds and like knowing the politics.
Yeah. That's the whole, that makes work tolerable.
That's what makes work tolerable. Exactly. That's like the fun part about it.
That is the fun. The work isn't the fun
the
part.
Connection. Exactly.
The people.
Exactly. And that's all been ripped away from us.
Yeah.
And it's all like fucking buried beneath a third frame.
One of my favorite times in, I don't know how to frame this.
Puberty.
It wasn't my favorite times in my life to work at Fox per se, but I know, one of my favorite friendships is with the woman Shannon, the woman who sat next to me.
I'm glad you remember her name.
Yeah,
does she listen anymore?
Yeah.
Do these
I
people
don't know.
listen?
Did she ever? I don't know.
There's Shannon and then your other friend from work who were like
Ramona. Yeah, awesome.
Ramona.
Shannon and Ramona were like awesome
night.
friends.
It was all right. I feel like I did that every single time.
Every single time.
Before.
Yeah. And Ian, all these like awesome people at work. It was so, like, but particularly there was something about a mind meld with Shannon where we would just howl with laughter. Howl.
Yeah. You don't howl with laughter. You don't howl with laughter ever.
No. And we sometimes like if we couldn't think of anything to say, we'd just start going.
Yeah, see,
And
that's
people
fun.
walking by would be like, oh, they're clucking like chickens again. And
That's
it's all
fun.
like fun. It's
Yeah,
fun. It's a good time.
Yeah,
you know?
look at those fucking losers. That's what I want to be. I want to be one of those fucking losers that people are like looking at under their nose
Yep.
when they're walking past my desk.
Because
Because
that's-
I'm the one who doesn't fucking take your bullshit, man.
Yeah.
I'm not buying into this corporate fucking rigmarole.
Your cube is where the fun happens.
Exactly.
And everyone wants in on the Jeff
Yes,
cube.
people want to be in the Jeff cube, but they don't want to be in the Jeff box
No.
on the fucking Zoom screen.
They don't want to be in the Jeff breakout room.
No.
Jeff doesn't want to be in the Jeff breakout
Jeff doesn't.
room.
No, Jeff doesn't want to be anywhere near the Jeff breakout room. Oh, it sucks, man. The
It
third
sucks.
frame.
Oh, I hate it.
Yeah.
I hate everything about how capitalism always wins.
It always wins. It always fucking wins, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Shall we move into Spike Club?
Oh, let's.
I hate you! I hate you! I hate you! Spy Club! I hate you! I hate you! I hate you! Spy Club! Fuck!
Has this been an extraordinarily tight episode of Dad Jeans?
Feels tight. Feels tight. We're an hour in right now.
Oh, well, that is tight for us. Okay, I'm going to do my Spike Club first, if you don't mind.
I don't mind. I would love it and prefer it.
Okay, so I go to San Francisco, and
I've heard of it.
Yeah, it's a city
Might be.
to the north of us.
Mm.
A lot of that's a weird city, man. It's a weird. I haven't spent much time there, but like the wealth disparity is no fucking joke, and it is there in front of your face everywhere you turn.
Yeah. My dear cousin Amelia was like, I can't take this shit anymore. She lived
Really?
in Noe Valley, and she was like, I'm a bounce because it just got awful. Like
Yeah.
the billionaires and the sorrow.
Yeah, it did make me a little sad. I felt like everywhere I walked, I was passing right by human misery
Human misery, and then people
while
and
watching
their-
people drive by in their Teslas.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and what were you? You were doing an ear thing. You were
Oh,
putting
I
it
was
to
just going to
your
say in their really light gauge sweatshirts
Yeah.
and earbuds
Yes.
on their way to their startup.
ear. Yeah, exactly. Yep, they spent $800 for on
Yeah.
Yeezy.
Chiseled chins.
Yeah,
Handsome, tall.
Yeah, it was weird. It was weird.
Jackasses.
It was weird. I didn't get the flavor for I didn't get the fever for the flavor when I was there. But
You didn't leave your heart.
I did
as they say.
not. Did not. I
And
did.
Sam
I
claims
went to
disco.
City Lights bookstore though. That was an interesting
Oh,
thing to do.
That's
It
pretty
was
cool.
nice to
Did they have
see
any
that.
copies of Howl by Allen Ginsberg? by any chance?
Wouldn't you know it? They did.
Oh,
Wouldn't you know it? They
how do
did.
you like that?
They did. It's amazing. You could find Naked Lunch there. I bet.
Oh, I bet
Yeah.
you could.
There's a writer named I don't know
Billy
if you've
Burroughs.
heard of him. Jack Kerouac
I haven't heard of
or
it.
Kerouac. I
It's
think
pronounced Kerouac.
Kerouac. I'm gonna have a nice glass of Kerouac when I get home later.
Aged in peat moss.
Exactly, the peat moss of Allen Ginsberg's atom
Flavor
bomb.
saver.
Yeah, it's flavor saver. What was the
Oh, your Spike Club.
Go fuck yourself with your atom bomb. It's the best line in Howl.
Oh.
Go fuck yourself with your atom bomb.
Oh, that's awesome. Howl's pretty great.
It is pretty great. That's the only poem I've ever liked.
You know what he did with Howl?
Do tell.
He
Howled.
did an amazing thing
'Kay.
where he made the sacred profane and the profane sacred.
Ah, how about that?
And it was the first time anyone ever did that.
What?
And it inverted the world. He
Oh.
opened the hellmouth.
Oh, good job.
And now life is much better because he ended 50s conformity.
Did anything ever happen? Like, was there ever any poem after that? Like, no one ever cared about another poem, did they?
No, because that came out around the same time as Waiting for Godot. There haven't been any plays since Waiting for Godot. There haven't been any poems since Howl.
Yeah, we've lost it all.
It
There's
all
been a lot of TikToks,
happened
though.
in the fucking 50s. There haven't been any performance artists since Lord Buckley.
Yeah, I'll buy it.
It all happened so much earlier than you would think.
Oh, all the good things.
All the kind of the tectonic shit happened in like 1956.
Bugs.
Yeah.
Okay, so what's my point? Spike Club. Oh, I'll tell you. So I get to San Francisco. I get off the airplane. And I'm like already late because of the stupid lightning storm, and I have to get to a dinner. And I'm like, okay, where's the taxi line? There's no taxi line. because there's no such thing as a taxi anymore. It's all rideshare services. So I say, okay, great. Where can I go stand in line and catch a rideshare? You can't, because you got to use the app. And to use the app, you got to have a fully charged phone and you got to have Wi-Fi. And so you got to have the app downloaded and you got to have an account on the app. And so
Fully charged phone after getting off a long flight.
after
mind
getting
you.
off a long flight, exactly. And so then I'm like, okay, well, I guess I'll go out to where the rideshare people are, and then I'll call the rideshare, because I don't want to call it here and then have to figure out where the rideshare is, and then I'm got a guy waiting for me with the meter running. No, there is no meter anymore. That guy would just be screwed, and he'd lose like $10, you know. But so then I start looking for where to go, and you got to go into the parking garage, all the way up to the top of the parking garage. And then there's a desolate, lonely area out there where you catch your rideshare.
Logan
thing.
Airport's the exact same way.
And I'm just like, what is this? How is this any more convenient than anything?
And you have to walk all the way out of your terminal. You have to walk for 6 miles.
Yes.
No, it sucks.
Yes. It used to be you would go to the airport and you'd get in line and there'd be a car waiting for you. And
Right.
you'd get in the car and then it would take you to where you wanted to go.
Wherever you wanted to go.
You didn't have like a half-hour learning curve the second you stepped off the plane, freaking
Right.
out that you're going to miss your dinner with your coworkers.
Exactly.
What the fuck? This is so shitty. Like the only thing that they have improved is that you can see a little picture of your car coming up to get you.
Right.
That's it. That's
Yeah,
it.
That's all there is.
That's all ride sharing. That's the only advantage of ride sharing.
Whenever they're planning airports and or just running airports, they
Yeah.
have giant slogans on the wall. And the slogan is very simple. It's 2 words.
Yeah.
Humans lose.
Yeah, that's the
That's
truth.
it. Whatever
the
you do,
truth.
whatever decision you make, just be guided by this. Humans lose.
Yeah, but it's like it's crazy because I don't use. I mean, we live in Los Angeles. I have a car. Like I so rarely use these things that like it literally was. I mean, it was the first time in 2 years that I'd taken an Uber, and you have to take it all over the city. But it's like I just didn't. I couldn't figure it out. Like it took me like I had Uber on my phone. I didn't have Lyft. Uber, I don't know if there's some kind of like block, if someone is sending out like some kind of a Cuba Havana syndrome like signal that blocked it on my phone, but like I pressed Uber and it just like just nothing. Like it wouldn't get, there was nowhere you could go to like click on send me a car.
Technical debt.
So then I had to download Lyft, which like took like 20 minutes because I wasn't on Wi-Fi, you know, and my phone is dying and I still have to do all the rest of the shit that I have to
The
do.
pits.
It was the pits, man. I
the
fucking hate ride share services.
The Los Angeles Metro,
Yeah.
which is our subway system,
Yeah.
has just started their
Quite
own
good.
rideshare competitor called Metro Micro, which costs $1 per ride.
What?
And they'll come get you and then drop you off somewhere.
What?
It works exactly like Uber and Lyft.
Is it
It's a van. Yeah.
So it picks up multiple people.
Oh, I wonder if it does that. If it like aggregates you
Does it
into
stop?
a thing.
Does it drop you at the station?
I think it drops you wherever you ask it to bring you.
Huh?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. I just
will
got a
take
postcard
Metro
for it and I
Micro.
looked and I was like, oh, holy shit.
I will take
Because,
Metro Micro.
it sounds pretty exciting. So, because I now live, I used to be able to walk to the train station in my old house, and now
Yeah.
I live a bus ride from the train station. That kind of sucks.
Yeah.
So now I can take the Metro Micro.
Well, that's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, also, like, they could just make buses that go frequently.
They could. They could. You're right about that. I will say this, actually. I'm going to say this about the Metro in Los Angeles. It is unsung in its punctuality and usability.
I think it's quite nice.
Yeah.
I like it. I don't like the way it connects. It
No.
has all sorts of terrible connections.
Right.
Like it's not a efficient
No.
grid.
Correct.
But it
And we live in a city that is a grid.
Yeah.
So they have no excuse.
they have no excuse.
Yeah.
But it's still like nice when I'm in the areas where I can take it.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me what your Spike Club is, Brandon.
The sun.
You've said that before.
Oh, damn it.
Oh my God. That was one of my favorite of your Spike Clubs. I think
really?
about that every time the sun is in my eyes.
Well, it's October again, so it's my new spite again because I
Okay.
fucking can't stand that fucking thing.
you gotta give me something new on it though.
A new about
what
the sun?
what new angle on the sun do you have?
Yeah, see, that's the thing. Damn it.
Yeah.
I'm running out of spite clubs because I've run out of things to hate because I think I'm turning into a very positive person.
So isn't it time for Love Club?
Maybe it's time for Love Club.
Yeah.
You know, I love my son's laugh.
Oh, that's sweet.
He made me
Even
this
when
bracelet.
he's mocking you.
that says he got into bracelets.
Okay.
And we had to go to Michael's and get a whole thing,
I
like a
love
bunch
it.
of beads and stuff like
love it.
that. Because a girl in his class is selling bracelets, and she's charging $6 a bracelet. And he did this whole thing where he tried to do
like
a
this
long
girl.
con with us, where he was like, "It's the book fair at school, so do you guys have $12?" And I was like, "Okay, there's $12. What books are you gonna get?"
Yeah.
Oh no, Percy Jackson or something. And then he couldn't live with himself, and he
And he gets 2
confessed the next
bracelets.
day, and he was like, "There's no book fair.
Oh.
There's Olivia's making bracelets, and I ordered 2, and they cost $6." And I was
Wow.
like, Oscar, you don't lie about money. That's a
Yeah.
long con, dude.
Yeah.
You don't do that shit.
No.
I was like, money is so fucking dark. You never lie about it
Oh, good for
because
you.
it will suck you into its dark fuckhole.
Good for you.
I said to him.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we went to Michael's.
Yeah.
And we got a bunch of beads or whatever. And he was like,
And he
we're-
said, I'm going to make bracelets and charge $5.
yeah, and understand exactly. So he made me a bracelet, and he was like, "What do you want it to say?" And we have this kind of sense of humor before.
Fuckhole.
I should have said fuck
Dark
hole.
fuckhole.
I was like, as a joke, I wrote,
Pineapple.
"Oscar sucks."
Okay.
As a joke, and he loved it.
Okay.
Like I was like, "I'm just kidding," and he was like, "No, that's awesome."
And he made one
that
that says
says
Oscar
Oscar
sucks?
sucks that I'm wearing right now, and he made himself one that says Oscar sucks
Wow.
too,
That's pretty cool.
which is pretty funny.
That's awesome.
So that's my
I'm all
love
for
club.
it.
Is my son is pretty fucking funny.
But tell me about the Sun, because there are some new listeners who might not have heard your Sun rant.
My son rant.
Not your son,
Fucking-
not your son, the Sun.
The sun.
You
S-U-N.
love your son, you hate the Sun.
Yeah, exactly. Because and no matter where I look, there it fucking is with its high beams on, being like,
Yeah.
me
Yeah.
all the time. And Emily has, you know the thing about like if you have blue eyes, the like bright lights hurt more.
I've heard that. I have very sensitive eyes, so I don't.
Interesting.
But I also wear glasses, so that could be a thing that could draw them
Throws
into
a
me.
theory out the window. Anyway, Emily
But
has
say
ocean
it.
eyes.
They say it.
And she
It's
can
sad.
look right into. She never wears sunglasses,
Oh.
and she can look right into the sun.
Oh, well,
she can
there you
just
go.
drive in the sun, forgets to put the visor down. I'm like, are you kidding me? Like when the sun is coming through that fucking windshield,
Yeah, no.
into my retinas,
Nope.
I want to die.
Yeah.
It's so awful.
It's aggravating.
And I'm like,
It's-
how has this not been solved yet?
yeah, like just like some kind of like worldwide blocker, or like what are you looking for?
I wish
here?
I knew. It would be great if there was something you could, and some sort of apparatus you could put on your face. It could rest on your nose and your ears, and just
Yeah.
make things darker.
Oh yeah, that's an interesting idea. That's an interesting idea. Someone should invent that.
Yeah,
Someone
with
should
like
invent that.
there could be lenses in front of your eyes with darkness
You would,
that you look through.
No, you would look really weird. I don't think you want to.
People wouldn't be able to see your eyes. That's true.
Yeah,
People would be
yeah.
like,
They
"What
might, they
the
might think you're
hell?"
shifty.
Right.
Yeah.
Under those dark lenses.
No, I think you're just gonna have to live with it, my friend.
I would call them dark glasses.
No, but you know what? I hear what you're saying because that's clever. I hear what you're saying because it doesn't matter. Like I wear sunglasses every time I'm in the sun. It doesn't fucking matter.
No.
But like because the sun in Los Angeles is like directly in your line of sight
At all times.
It's not about the diffused sun, like the brightness of the world around you.
Mm-hmm.
That's what sunglasses are for. Sunglasses are not for sun beaming directly into your eyes.
Being interrogated
Yeah,
in the basement
exactly.
of the precinct.
Exactly. Or in your rear view mirror, one of the two.
Oh, yeah. Coming and going.
Coming and going. They got you coming and going.
Coming and going.
And literally, like, you know, at a certain time of year when you're going to work and you're coming home from work, the sun is blazing into your eyes from
Exactly.
one direction or the other.
There was a moment where I realized while living in Los Angeles, I will never work east of my house. Ever.
Yeah. You just gave it up. You're like,
No, I was like, nope, I
that's
can
not gonna
only
happen.
work to the west of my house. I have
Right.
to be driving away from the sun in the morning and away at night because I will
Interesting.
fucking die. I don't care
Interesting.
what job is offered to me to the east.
Yeah.
It can go fuck itself.
Yeah. You're just blazing forward into like Nirvana or something.
Yeah, it's like ball peen. Yeah, exactly. But
Yeah.
ball peen Nirvana.
Ball peen Nirvana. God, we have so many good titles for this episode. I think we might have to save some for later episodes.
Perhaps. Maybe just slice it up.
Okay, so now, but give me a new angle on the sun. Come up. Let's riff. Let's come
Okay,
up
yeah.
with something.
All right,
about
this is
the
what you
sun
do
that
for
hate.
work, right?
Yeah.
So we're
This isn't a. This
throwing shade on the sun.
Hey, see, look, you're good. I wish we could throw some shade on that motherfucker.
Yeah, exactly.
No, but what else about the sun? Like it makes plants grow. Fuck that. Sunscreen.
Yeah.
Now sunscreen. How about this?
Oh.
You have to lather fucking shit all over your. What other natural phenomena makes you like lather things all over your body to survive it.
People the world over have to have to do this. We have to, no matter where you are on what part of the world, no matter how much contact with the Western world you've had, you're still smearing shit on your skin.
Exactly. Because this
it's
fucking
that much of a
egotistical
problem.
ass son is just like, is like, you know what? I'm going to burn your ass.
Yeah.
If you don't put slather some shit all over yourself.
Here's my new angle.
Okay.
My fucking nose is now permanently slightly red.
Oh, that's from drinking.
I stopped drinking a year and a half ago.
But you drank quite a bit before that.
I did
my friend.
drink quite a bit before that.
But from the I hear you because your proboscis is sticking out in the air all the time, and the sun's just like, I'm gonna get it.
Hey, get that thing.
Nothing you can do. Nothing you can do about it, buddy.
Crisp up your skin.
Yeah, I hear that. I have fucking. I think that's why I have like this.
You have
a trigliosis. No,
Trigliasis,
vitiligo. One day I suppose.
Oh, that was their duet with Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
Vitiligo. Where will I go? Vitiligo.
I don't even know where to go with that. I don't know where to vitiligo with that.
I presented you with a cul-de-sac.
But I think this my skin condition is because of the sun.
Do we blame ourselves as a species for not adapting better to the fact that we're getting our fucking faces fried off?
Good question.
By this orb thing that I guess did give us life.
Yeah.
Or do we blame the sun?
I mean, that's a no-brainer.
If I
blame
were
me or blame something else outside of myself, easy.
If I were an Inca,
yeah.
No, I mean Maya.
Yeah.
I wouldn't worship no sun. I'd be
you
like,
wouldn't.
nope.
You wouldn't.
Not at all.
Worship the dirt.
Yeah, I'd worship the dirt.
There's got to be like
moon.
They weren't a monoculture. Like I'm sure there were people who were like, "Fuck that! I don't believe in the sun.
Yeah,
I believe in the
that
dirt.
shit.
I'm a worm worshiper."
Yeah, exactly. I do the plumbing in Machu Picchu. I believe in plumbing.
Well, I think that's our show for the night. I did the plumbing in Machu Picchu. I got nothing to add to
that. Jeff, it's always a pleasure to see you.
Brendan, follow us on the
socials.
Machines.
The machines.
Call us.
In your terminal. Call us on the telephone.
Phone. I don't even remember our number.
484-9383.
9290.
Oh yeah,
323 515 9290. If you made it this far, just call us and say made it. Just call us at that number and say made it. We just want to see how many people have listened to the
and
end
we'll
of
put your
our
voice on the
episodes.
air.
There will probably be I'm guessing there will be one of you potentially.
Yep, we're testing our bounce rate.
Yeah. Well, that's right. We're A/B testing this week.
Yep.
We'll have another episode for the other half of you. The other half got
who we
got
know
the good
don't finish.
episode. You got the shitty episode. So
this is like Clue in the 80s.
Yeah.
Different endings.
Exactly. You either get the good one or you get the bad one.
Mm-hmm.
You, my friend, got the bad one. Because we know that you're the one who gave us 1 fucking star on iTunes.
And this is for you.
Good night.
Good night.